Today, I want to talk about something small. Just one word. The word is misfit. I love this word. It means someone who doesn't fit in. Someone who feels different from others. Someone who feels out of place. I am a misfit. And I know I'm not the only one. So today, I'll tell you a story. It's my story as a misfit. When I was in my early 30s, something amazing happened. I won a writing prize for a short story I wrote. The story was about my life as a swimmer. It was also about my sad home life. And how grief and loss can make you feel crazy. The prize was a trip to New York City. I would get to meet writers, editors, and agents. It was a dream come true. But you know what I did when the letter came? I poured myself a big glass of vodka. I sat in my kitchen in my underwear. And I stared at the letter for hours. I thought about all the ways I had failed before. Who was I to go to New York and call myself a writer? I was someone who had many problems. I grew up in a violent home. I had 2 failed marriages. I dropped out of college 2 or 3 times. I went to rehab. I even spent time in jail. But the biggest thing was this. My baby daughter died the day she was born. I didn't know how to live after that. I even became homeless. I lived under a bridge for a while. I was lost in grief. People who are homeless are often misfits too. They were once like us. So yes, I missed fitting in everywhere. As a daughter. As a wife. As a mother. As a student. Even as a writer. Still, I went to New York. That's where the writers were. At first, it was like a dream. I stayed in a nice hotel. I met smart, cool people. I drank scotch with them at night. I met editors and agents at fancy restaurants. The food was amazing. I even stole some napkins and a menu. I wanted proof that it really happened. I picked 3 writers I wanted to meet. They weren't super famous, but they mattered to me. They wrote in a way that felt honest and brave. It made me feel like maybe I could write too. Spending time with them gave me a joy I had never known. I had never been in a room like that before. My mom never went to college. My writing life felt small and hopeless. In those moments in New York, I thought, this is enough. I could die happy now. Then came the hard part. I met editors at big publishers. One editor told me I should write a memoir. But I couldn't speak. I just smiled and nodded. Inside, I felt frozen. Another editor told me to send in some writing right away. But I didn't. It took me more than 10 years to do that. At the final event, an agent offered to represent me. But I said, I don't know. I need to think. She walked away. Why couldn't I say yes? It's because misfits often feel shame. Shame about wanting something good. Shame about feeling joy. Shame about not feeling good enough. If I could go back, I'd tell myself. You belong in this room. You have the right to dream. But I didn't say that. I flew back home with no book deal, no agent. Only memories. That was the only prize I took. But at night, I still heard the voices of the women I met. They said, tell your story. They said, don't let anyone silence you. They said, telling your story can save your life. Now, I'm over 50. I am a writer. I am a mother. And I teach writing. My favorite students are the misfits. I finally wrote that book. It's called The Chronology of Water. It tells how I rebuilt my life many times. My failures became the road to something beautiful. There is a myth about heroes. But I like the story of misfits better. Because even in failure, we are still beautiful. We can always begin again. No matter what we've lost. Even if we feel broken. We are still worthy. Our stories matter. And only we can tell them. And I promise you, I'll be listening.